Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and this is the Elite Result. So not the Result 36, the bigger Result, so almost 38 inches axle to axle. This is the Elite's target bow. Now we've done reviews on this before, but this time I've set it up with target gear, exactly the same as I did with the Envision, and we're going to look at the difference between this bow and the Envision. So at the moment this bow's just been sort of set up by one of my staff, by Rainer, and now Rainer is not 14, he advises me he is 15. So it's had no tuning, we've just bolted everything to it, and this is me shooting it. So we can compare the hunting sight versus a full target setup. So a bit about the Result. 37.75 axle to axle, brace height 7 1/4, mass weight 4.7, sorry it's really cold out here. Draw length is from 24 to 31 inches, 70 to 90% let off. Now what's cool with the Result and Elite bows, you can rotate the module to change where the valley hits. Now you can also, you've got cable stop at the top here, so you can change the valley, so from 90 to 70% just by moving it forward that way, so shortening it. You can also fit limb stops to this module here, so you can change the entire feel of the bow, so you can make the valley as short as a Hoyt if you want, or you can make it long so you can make the bow easy to shoot depending on how you shoot. Now you've also got the ability to twist the limbs backwards and forwards, that's for your tear, so if the arrow's tearing left or right. Now I wouldn't suggest to do that because sometimes it's how you torque the bow, so hand grip pressure here can be face pressure here on the string. So generally I'd go shoot first, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm not doing any sort of tuning. Now one thing I really like about the Elites is that it has locking systems here. The price point's pretty good as well on the Elites compared to the other target bows on the market. I think you're probably looking around 1800 Australian dollars. That compares in the marketplace to the Hoyt Altus, about 2,300, a lot more features on the Elite. PSC Supra about 1,700 as well, so about the same price as a PSC Supra, and you've got more sort of tuning features with this bow. Bowtech Reckoning, which is an awesome bow, but more expensive, 2,400. Matthews TRXs, 2,300. So you're talking a bow about $500 cheaper, and it looks to go. Now I've chosen the black one here, so it looks like the Envision for the video. Now the black finish is slightly different to the target colors. The target colors in Elite are, I think they call them a rhinoized finish or something like that. It's like a baked on paint, and it's not powder coat, it's something different. It sort of mends into the material, and I haven't seen these chip. They seem really tough. But the black finish is more of it's a rougher finish, so it's more of it's got little dots in the paint where the target colors are smooth. Now the one thing I liked about the one reason why I went black is because I've got green accessories to this bow, and the black kind of makes it pop. It looked nice with the green strings. This here is the limb stop, which if you fit the limb stop here to the cams, that then comes and hits that. Elite's been really dependable. I've had no issues with Elite, touch wood. So now Elite, the cables here, this is interesting. So when I first tried an Elite and I did a report, I said it was pretty gritty to draw back. This is not the case anymore. So what I think's happened, I think Elite has changed their cable slide. I think this is an AE slippery slide. And it's just better. You don't feel any of that grittiness that you used to feel. Now before they used to have the crossover at the top, and now I notice it's in the bottom, and to me it's in a much better position. Things seem to be more symmetrical, so it seems better. The strings are winner's choice, which is obviously part of the Elite factory family. Elite being made up of CBE, Scott, winner's choice. Slick trick broadheads is all part of the Elite family. The cable guard here is different to the Remedy and the Envision, which is roller slides. This is a cable slide that moves backwards and forwards. The cable guard itself can move in or out. That's for torque tuning. and it bolts onto the riser twice, which is a really nice locking in feature, which I really like. So the chances of this coming loose are pretty minute. So basic sort of setup, let's go through what we've done. We've tied the peep sight in. That's the tie-in system I use. The peep sight, this is just a cheap peep sight. This is an Avalon peep sight, about $10. Size of the peep is 1 1/16. I could move up to a 332. Just a basic D-loop that Rona didn't actually tie in correctly. The sight is a cheap toe point compound sight with a cheap 6-power toe point scope. The sight sells for about $150. The blade rest is a toe point micro adjustable. Looks like a expensive pro blade rest. Sells for $80. $150 and $50 for the scope, $10 for the peep. Stabilizers, a toe point stabilizer. These are quite good. About $45. The front one's about $50, 30 inches long. Back one's $15. We've added some weight on the front. These are just 4 ounces, so I've got 8 ounces on the front. Now, when Rona put this on, in the other one, he put the weight in front of the dampener. This time he's done it the other way. And on the back, we've got 12 ounces of weight. Now, just as a thing, you're generally better to put the weight in between the weights because the vibration comes down the stabilizer, hits the dampener, and then doesn't come back down. So it basically stops the vibration. So theoretically, I feel more vibration with this bow. Okay, I think we're ready to shoot. So let's shoot 18 meters and see how this bow feels. Okay, so I'm back at 18 meters. The Elite limbs, I have these little things on here. This is meant to stop the limbs flying apart if you dry fire them. Don't dry fire your bow, but the Elite limbs have been pretty solid. They're the same limb every company uses. The thing with the Elite, and the reason I think they're not breaking, or I'm not having any problems with them, they're not under a lot of tension. So this bow's straight out the box. I haven't done anything to it. Literally, Raynar set it up last night, and he also did the editing of the last video, so let's just see. Now, when I was getting the sight settings, the bow is at 29 inches. It felt long to me. It felt like 29.5. The valley feels too big for me. I reduced the size of the valley. So when I compare the Envision to the Remedy, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the let off so these bows suit me more, so I give a true indication. But for this video, this is straight out of the box. We're just going to compare, see how it feels. So the reason why we're doing this video, I asked a lot of the Elite Pro shooters why you shoot the actual bow you shoot, and they were like, because we like it. And I was like, well, that didn't really tell me much. Besides, you like that bow. I wanted to know whether you shoot more points with that bow versus another bow, or less points. And one of the viewers or friends on Facebook messaged me and he said, I shoot the Result 36, I shoot 299 out of 300, I want to gain a point. What bow should I go for? Should I go for a 38? Should I go for a Supra? Should I go for a 40? Always been a question, so I was like, let's do this video. I'm comparing a 38 to a 31 inch bow. Let's see the difference in scores at 18 and at 50 meters. So this is the sort of start of it, just setting up the bow. And then today I'll set these bows up better, and then we'll shoot some indoor scores and see what we shoot, and then I'll also pull out the Remedy and the 36 and we'll do the same with those as well. But for the purpose of this video, I want to do 31 to 38 so I get that clear, what's the difference, which bow should I be shooting. So I said, so the draw link feels too long for me. So yesterday, I think when I did the Envision video, I said that a bigger brace height I'm seeming to be more stable with. Clearly the case, that end of my sight pin didn't move out of the 10 ring, it just was stable. This bow's slightly bigger, about half an inch bigger brace height than the Envision. The bow feels longer, it feels more unwieldy than the Envision 31 inch bow. The 31 inch bow feels nice and compact. This bow feels more like a target bow. Now the vibration, the Envision yesterday when I shot it, I it was virtually stable in the hand as far as aftershock. This bow's pretty good, and in fact it's much better than I remember it. Like, it's a basic $40 stabilizer with 8 ounces of weight, and it feels pretty good. So I can feel a little bit of vibration at the end of the stabilizer when I shoot. I think some of that would be reduced if I moved the rubber inside the weight, so if it was weight, rubber, weight. But it's minor, very, very minor. But still more than the Envision. The bow aims much better than the Envision. It feels much slower than the Envision to shoot. The valley feels too big for me. I want to reduce that, and I also want to reduce the draw length. So I'm just going to move those plates forward. Now, I am shooting outdoors and there is a bit of wind, and I got blown off target then. There could be an argument that a shorter bow, like a 31-inch axle bow, gets less wind drift because the bow's shorter and it's going to catch less wind. But that time I got blown off into the blue, so we'll start the shot over again. But when we compare scores, we'll actually go to the indoor range and shoot. I just feel overstretched in the draw length, but the bow feels brilliant to shoot, like really, really good. Again, I really like this arm. I'm hyper extending that arm out to get the draw length, and it's actually hurting my arm a bit. I feel much more comfortable shooting with a slightly bent arm, and that applies with recurve as well as compound. I've been shooting PSE for a number of years, and the PSE compared to the Elite feels slow, where the PSE feels fast. The draw length on this feels softer. It's at 60 pound. It feels softer than the PSE. I don't know the speed difference, but it feels much easier to shoot overall. I'm a huge fan of the Elite grip. I really, really like the Elite grip. I think it's one of the best on the market. And they tend to have the same grip for all their bows. Now with Hoyt you can change the grip, with Bowtech you can change the angle of your grip as well. Look, I think that's a cool feature. You can't do that with the Elite, but I just think this grip, the way the knuckles all fit in here and the angles here. It just feels, it's good. It's like, it's on the money. Whoever did it, I think, did a really good job. And once again, this is from my opinion. I just see that the Matthews grips, lots of people don't like Matthews grips, and they rip them off and they fit the Ultra View grips, or they fit another grip to it. Didn't miss, I think I Robin Hood an arrow. We'll shoot one more. Okay. So one of the reasons why I'm comparing these bows, besides people asking, is we have a shoot coming up, which is called the Fairweather Shoot, and you have a team of compound, recurve, and barebow, 3 archers. So a compound archer, a recurve archer, and a barebow archer. The 3 scores get added together to get a team score. Our shop is putting in a team, which will be a compound shooter, obviously a recurve archer, and a barebow shooter. And I'm going to be the compound archer, even though I've been shooting recurve lately. So I'm like, which bow am I going to shoot? So that's part of why we're doing this for you. So let's go down there and see what that group looks like. Okay, so it's not a bad group, and it's literally the first time. I can almost get my fingers around the group. Now, I think with the Envision, I could get my fingers around the group, and I think the group was top left from memory. Look, it's not a bad grip. There was a bit of wind moving around a little bit, and I don't think there was when I did the Envision video. So I think I shot better with this. Aiming was definitely easier with this bow, and that's in wind. So there's not a lot of wind, but there is wind. Like I said, one of the shots, my sight pin went out to the blue. So I don't think there was any wind with the Envision video, and my sight pin was basically moving around the gold. In the result video, this video, my sight pin's basically sitting on the 10, so it's noticeable to me, the ease of aiming. I'm going to say I prefer the Envision to shoot to the result in just the feel of the shot. It breaks, it feels faster, it's probably got bigger cams or something. It just feels it feels a nice bow to shoot. As far as overall nice bows to shoot, the Envision feels good. This bow, the result feels like a target bow. It's like, just feels, I'm going to say boring. That's probably not the word you want to hear, but it's repeatable. It's like, it feels like a target bow. The Envision feels like a crisp target bow. Target bow. Like a hunting bow, but it doesn't feel aggressive. Like some of the hunting bows, you pull them back, it's like, whoa, bang! And the Envision's not that. It feels like a target bow, but faster and compact and no vibration. It feels really nice to me. So, my summary, I think I'm going to shoot better with the Result 30. I'm going to shoot better with the Result 38 than all the other Elites. I think, I know I prefer the feel of the Envision to shoot, but I think my scores are going to be better with the Result than all the rest and the indoor. So with that, we're going to change the let off on all the bows on the Envision and the Result to thing. We're going to try and get that draw length down to where I want them so it feels comfortable, and then we're going to do a video where we compare them one-on-one, indoor scores, and then 50 meters. I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Thanks for watching.